Ron Cam came to McMinnville in 1968 after acquiring the position of director of the community's aquatic center. Over the next decade, Ron would develop a youth swimming program, which gave kids of all ages the chance to participate in a different sport, while giving Ron the opportunity to literally be on the ground level of building a new program. In the early 70s, the Mac Aquatic Center was very different, but before creating the pool we have today, Cam maximized resources and the potential of his swimmers by developing an unorthodox and effective method of training.
We had a 20-yard pool that we were training in, which most other teams were swimming in a 25-yard pool. But he used it to an advantage for us. I mean, he had it broken down. We had some pace sets we had to do, and he had it set up for the 20-yard pool, and we sort of knew where we needed to be, what kind of times we needed to do for certain distances, and he had it all set up on that.
The things that he did, the program that he ran there in McMinnville with the old facility, it's a beautiful facility now, but with the old facility, was ideal for young kids. I never felt any pressure associated with performing or doing. It all had to be self-imposed. Ron was bent on running a program where people could get out of it what they wanted to put into it, and so you set your own goals, you did your own thing. He provided a fantastic structure to work within, but that was a way he wanted to grow the program, and he felt very passionately about that, and he was very successful in doing it.
He was great with kids of all ages. It was just kind of a natural thing. And I think there are a few rare coaches that you find who are successful that just have that ability. It's just kind of an innate ability, and the rest of us, including myself, really have to work hard to develop some of those techniques with kids, and you can get a lot better at it. But Ron just had it, and the kids, he was just like a magnet. Kids liked him. They liked being around him. He was a lot of fun with the little kids. You could watch him with the little kids, and he retained that with them right up through high school when they left us. And that was pretty neat to be around a guy like that.
By 1978, with the program fully grown and flourishing, Ron took on the title of Mac High's head swim coach of the girls team and the task of running practices for both boys and girls. Over the next 20 years, thanks in large part to his uncanny ability to get the most out of his athletes, Cam and the MHS swimming program never had a shortage of success, with Ron eventually becoming the official boys head coach in 1990. From 1978 to 1998, his teams captured 18 league championships, while he took home 17 League Coach of the Year awards.
You don't want to brag or anything like that, but we were very successful, and a lot of that had to do with, of course, with Ron, because the kids started with him. They started in the club program, was very strong, had a great group of parents to work with, and you could feel that. It was like a big community. Ron always referred to it as our program. It wasn't my program or this program or that program. It was always our program.
Did he change? No. He was the same coach when I was 8 as he was when I was 18. You set your own goals. He did not set goals for you. He certainly encouraged you. It was a very, very goal-oriented program. But he encouraged you to set your goals and then provided the structure for you to work very hard to achieve those. But he never forced you. If you didn't want to put in the time, that was fine. He wasn't going to be that type of coach. He wanted to be the type of coach that you were going to do it yourself. And that taught us so much more. That taught us so much about goal setting, about work ethic. He taught us how to swim fast, but that was a minor part of it. It really was a minor part of it. His character as a coach was unchanged. From my perspective. The way he treated kids, regardless of what age they were, or regardless of how fast they swam, quite frankly. His interest was in seeing progress. You could have been the 6th guy in an event, and if you were showing progress, he was just as happy as if you were winning the event and showing progress as well.
The pinnacle of his career came in his final 2 seasons, as Cam won State Coach of the Year honors in '97 and '98, with the boys' teams winning back-to-back state championships. This was McMinnville High School's first ever repeat state championship team in 1998, which allowed Ron Cam to retire while on top of the sport.
For all that he'd done for the program, I mean, beyond just, I mean, for the community, I mean, just the lessons program, the club program, the high school. I mean, I think it was very fitting that he got, you know, 2 state championships there to go out, because, you know, he'd worked hard and really built a solid program. I mean, the pool we have here today, in large part, is due to him, because he grew the programs and grew the swim team, and you know, they outgrew the pool before. So I mean, the nice facility we have now is a tribute to him.
After 30 years of dedication to the swim program in youth of McMinnville, Cam stepped away from coaching, but his legacy and lessons are still alive today. Now coached by one of his former swimmers, the Grizzlies have continued to win league and state championships with regularity, making swimming Mac High's most successful sport in school history. Although Ron Cam is getting inducted as a coach, he taught more than just the game, as he emphasized life lessons such as setting goals, working hard, and pushing yourself to do your best. He taught these and countless other life lessons to hundreds of kids who live by them still.
Ron was, in my life at least, was easily the third most influential adult in my childhood. I mean, without question, just behind my parents. There's not a week that goes by that I don't have some memory of going through that program, because those were a lot of defining moments, at least in my life, and I know in the lives of a whole bunch of kids that went through it. And it lasted for decades. It wasn't just years, it was decades. So I don't know if anybody's ever counted up the number of kids that participated in the swim club, and then on through high school as well, but it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, I'm sure.
He touched a lot of people's lives. He was a real mentor to me. He was another father figure. He was real important in my life. I mean, I spent a lot of time at the pool. He was one of those guys you go to when you had a problem or you had a question or trying to figure out what you wanted to do. You know, when I was going to get done with school, when I was going to go to college, he was somebody I talked to like my parents, and always had good insight and good advice. So he got me started in this profession.
It really is hard to put into words. I mean, this is someone who was not just, on during the season. It wasn't a fall event, or it wasn't a winter sport. This was a part of a lot of people's lives growing up. What he did for all of us, you can't thank it. You really can't. It was unique. It was a unique experience. And if every kid growing up that participated in any type of youth athletics could have half the experience that we had, they would consider themselves tremendously lucky. It was a unique experience, and he crafted the environment for it. He worked with everybody as an individual, and he taught you the importance of setting goals and working very hard to achieve them. And that is a life lesson that is more valuable than a whole lot of things. I could not pick a better person to have inducted into the Hall of Fame. There's been a lot of coaches that have had significant impact on people through the years in the community, and he is, if he's not on the top, he's right real close to it, because the longevity is there and the sheer volume of kids going through that program. He has left an indelible mark.